Hi, and welcome along to AFTV. We've got a very special video for you because we have made a signing. Joining me, I have James. How you doing, James?
I'm very excited. How are you?
I'm very excited as well. We have signed Martin Ødegaard on a season-long loan. Well, shall I say, a loan until the end of the season from Real Madrid, and this for me is a very, very good signing. Um, it was about just over a week ago when I saw that Ødegaard had said to Real Madrid that he would like to leave and go and play some regular football somewhere on loan. And straight away, this was even before any links were made, I, in one of my transfer dailies, said, get Ødegaard, get him. This guy, you know, he had a great season last year at Real Sociedad. He's super talented, but he can't get into that Real Madrid team. Remember, look at their midfield. Toni Kroos, Modric, Hazard, Casemiro. It's very difficult to get past those players. It doesn't mean that this guy's not a talented player, still only 22. And I said, get Ødegaard. And by the next day, the rumors were starting to heat up. Will he go back to Real Sociedad, where he had a great season last year? Or will he come to Arsenal? Arsenal were very interested in him. And I think this is a big coup, James, pulling off a deal to get Ødegaard here until the end of the season, particularly when Mesut Ozil has now left and we haven't been able to get Buendia in. So we do have a problem in that creative position, although Smith Rowe's been doing a great job and this will be great competition for him.
Yeah, I think you summed up brilliantly. Smith Rowe's doing a fantastic job, and I don't think he should lose out on game time just because Ødegaard's come. But it's a case of rotating. Mentioned it on a show the other day when I was chatting with Mo as well. We're both saying it's not a case of Ødegaard coming in and suddenly Smith Rowe doesn't play much. It's a case of you look at, we've had two away games against Southampton. He plays one, Smith Rowe plays the other. Maybe he plays both, but Saka gets a rest. And that's kind of what we're talking about. It's about having quality to bring in. And I know we're not sort of at a level like Man City, but Man City at their best, you know, if David Silva wasn't available, Bernardo Silva came in. And I think we need to start acting like a big club and understanding that when there's an injury to a key player, there's another really, I don't want to use the word solid, but a really dependable option who can come in and do the same job. And unfortunately, we've not had that from other players in the squad this season. So I'm really excited. Do I think he's going to walk in and hit the ground running? I don't know. But none of us can really know because we're judging him off a couple good seasons and a couple iffy spells as well. But he's still young and no one can doubt his potential. So I'm really excited about this one.
And one of the hottest prospects in world football when he signed for Real Madrid. Remember, he went there when he's very, very young, 15.
Yeah.
You know, has gone over there. It hasn't quite worked out for him. You know, he's playing for their B team. Then he went on loan Heerenveen, Vitesse Arnhem, where he did very, very well there. He had a good loan spell there.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Came back, but the real good loan spell that he had was last year at Real Sociedad. He was supposed to be on loan there for 2 seasons. Real Madrid bought him back early. That's how well he's done. He's had a few little niggling injuries, but we're told he's fit. But I just think that this deal makes perfect sense. I did an interview the other day with Per. If you guys get a chance, I'll put a link in the description. Per from TV2, which is the #1 sort of sports outlet for football. They're like our version of Sky over there in Norway. He said that the Norwegians absolutely adore him. And he described him as Mesut Ozil, you know, in that he can play that number 10 role, very skillful, very creative, but he puts the work in also. You know, he does the work off the ball. And, you know, if he can live up to that, then we got ourselves a player.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you imagine Ozil, but with the work rate of a James Milner or something, you know, he'd have been unstoppable. Yeah, I mean, you've got to succeed as a number 10 these days because number 10s are going out the game a little bit. So to succeed, you've got to have the work rate. Look at Smith Rowe. Look how hard he works off the ball. Look how much he drops into midfield. And I think if you wanted to play a 4-3-3, Smith Rowe could play as one of the 3 midfielders. He's got that build. He's got that dynamism, that energy, that work rate. So I think Arteta, one thing he's shown since he's arrived is that work rate is really important to him. I don't think Arsenal over the years have been accused of many things, but actually laziness under Arteta, I don't think it would be a fair criticism. And I think Ødegaard, if from what we're hearing, will fit it right in, because the work rate's got to be spot on from everyone.
Yep. I know you got a few stats around him.
Yeah.
To throw at us.
Yeah, let's do it. So a couple of these we've already been through, but I've evolved the stats and the analysis a little bit since then. But let's just start. For anyone this is the first video they're watching on Ødegaard, who are we getting? This is what we're getting: a 22-year-old number 10 who stands at 5'8". He's left-footed, very comparable to Ozil in that way, coming from Real Madrid as well. And he is a number 10. He can play out on the right. We're going to have a look at that in a sec. But he's made 47 appearances in La Liga. And apparently, according to Transfermarkt, he's seen as around a £36 million player, which is pretty high, considering a lot of people saying, oh, well, he's not done it at Real Madrid. Well, he's clearly very highly valued. I'm just going to have a little look at the positions we can see him playing. Now, I've been a little harsh on him here, because I've basically put him in the 10 or as a right winger. But quite frankly, he could play out on the left as well. I wouldn't even be surprised if he could do a job as one of a midfield three either. I'm not sure we've seen him do that too much over the years, but I mean, why not? So he's clearly someone who's going to give key players like Saka and Smith Rowe a chance to have a rest. Maybe Martinelli, who's just coming back from injury, if he plays on the left, or Saka plays on the left, so Ødegaard plays on the right. There's a lot of options there. And I think that's the most impressive thing. Now, I've got some stats. A few of them I think you're going to really like, Robbie. This is basically looking at his time at Sociedad in a little bit more detail. Now, we've not done this till now, so this is fresh content for you guys, but he made 31 appearances in La Liga for Sociedad. In that, he got 10 goals and 10 goals and assists in those 31 appearances, which isn't bad. Now, the thing I like is that he managed 50 shots that season. So he's averaging about, I'm doing some mental maths here, but 1.5 shots per game around that. 33 of them coming outside the box. Now, I know you'll like that, Robbie, because you're always saying our midfielders don't score. They don't shoot. They never look like they're going to. Yeah, and that's a fantastic thing, that most a good 33 out of 50 is that 66%, are coming outside the area, which is superb. In terms of attempted passes per 90, 48.6. Why is that relevant? I'm going to show you a little bit later. Key passes per 90, at least 2 key passes per game on average. But again, remember the games where he's not on the front foot, where they're not creating, where maybe they're playing an Atletico Madrid, a Barcelona, or a Real Madrid. Those key passes are going to be lower. So averaging out 2 per game is pretty good. And again, high pass completion rate, high pass accuracy in the opposition half, a lot of touches per game, and he's completing 2 out of 3 dribbles as well, which is superb. And that's something that he's renowned for, carrying the ball, beating men. And it's exciting. We're getting a player who takes shots, dribbles, completes pass in the final third, likes to get on the ball. And I just want to compare this to how some of our creative players in the squad are doing this season compared to Ødegaard's numbers last season. So I'll just bring them up here. Passes per 90, he averages more. He averaged more last year than all our other players this season. And touches per 90, he's averaging more as well. So this is a player who wants to get on the ball, wants to play, wants to pass it around. Smith Rowe, in only 5 appearances, is doing very, very well there. And that, I'm not trying to knock Smith Rowe, Saka, or any of the other options in our squad, but I'm just trying to make the point of the kind of player he is. He gets on the ball a lot, and the numbers tell you that, I appreciate different leagues and different teams and all that. I appreciate there's context to this, but on the whole, we're getting a player who really loves to get on the ball, really loves to make things happen. And it looks like from the numbers, he's going to be a very welcomed addition.
Yeah, 100%. And you know what? The incentive is there for him to do really, really well. I guess his ultimate aim will be to go back to Real Madrid and make it there. But they've already brought him back once early from Real Sociedad, and it hasn't worked out. Now, he might be thinking to himself, I'm at a big club with Arsenal, playing amongst big players, much bigger players than what he was, when he was at Real Sociedad. He's going to be Aubameyangs, Lacazettes, Thomas Partey, who he'll know from the league, so he might be looking at it and saying, you know what, if I can make my name here at Arsenal, he'll know Arsenal's massive from, everybody in Norway, the number 1 league is the Premier League. If he can make himself a name here, he can stay, because we are looking for a number 10. There's still talk about Buendia in the summer, but if he comes in and he does superbly, and we've got him and we've got Smith Rowe, then there may not be the need for a Buendia. We may have 2 players of the profiles that we want. You know what I mean? One's 22, one's 20, battling it out for that spot. And to me, that's happy days. And I like the fact these young, hungry players, he has a point to prove. Now, I know there's people out there who are going to be saying, yeah, so did Denis Suarez, you know, and obviously we saw that he came in and that didn't work out. And loan moves, you know, you don't have a lot of chance, you don't have a lot of time to prove yourself. I mean, you've got to hit the ground running. But I guess what is going to be helpful in this case is the fact that he does have Smith Rowe there, so he doesn't have to jump straight in and be that sort of guy for 90 minutes. He can be introduced in. Yeah. And I like that. And I like the fact that he can drift out and play out on the right as well. He's versatile. So I'm very excited about this. As I said, I wanted this signing to happen even before the links began. I was like, it makes sense to try and get Ødegaard. Because I so desperately want to see a creative player in that area. And, you know, Smith Rowe's done excellently. And if those two are battling it out, as I said, for me, it's the perfect storm.
Yeah, I completely agree. And what you just said about potentially what happens beyond the summer, I think that eventuality is more possible than people think. I've been watching sort of some mini documentaries on YouTube about him and things. And one of the big issues he supposedly has is that he's not settled. It's a different club every year. He's always on the move, and he wants to settle himself a lot more. And as you said, Arsenal's not a bad club to settle yourself down at and start playing some of your best football of your best years. Now, Real Madrid, supposedly they want to do some business in the summer, but they're going to need to sell to do that. So this looks much more possible, and there's no risk attached. If it doesn't work, he goes back.
Yeah, there's no risk attached. There's no risk attached. It's either somebody like Ødegaard or no one in that number 10 position, right? Yeah. So, you know, for me, there's no risk attached. And I just get the feeling that if he comes and he does really, really well, I think he may want to stay. You know what I mean? He speaks very good English, as practically everybody from Norway does. You know, he ain't gonna have no problems with the climate. It's not going to be exactly Madrid climate, but you know, he is Norwegian, so he'll know about the climate, etc. I think this looks like a really, really sensible loan move by Arsenal. I know we love to see these deals being done permanent, but it's the nature of the transfer window this January. And for me, it's probably, I can't think of another one in the Premier League at the moment that is as exciting as this as a loan deal. It's an excellent deal. So I'm really happy to see that this one has been completed now. You know, who knows? Could he start against Manchester United? You know, it might come too early. Who knows? Might play a little part in that game, but it's certainly going to up the interest for that game. Really, really excited to see him make his debut. And James, thank you very much. And thank you for filling us in on Ødegaard. But it just remains here for me to say, Martin Ødegaard is now an Arsenal player from now until the end of the season. And on behalf of all Arsenal fans, I want to say welcome to Arsenal, Martin Ødegaard. Have yourself a great time. You can be something special at this club. Don't worry about Real Madrid. Don't worry about going back there. You can make your home here. You can be successful here. And we're all looking forward to seeing you play.